So Miles, thanks for sitting down and chatting with us. It's been a while since we've got you on camera, obviously with the free weekend your side had after the semi-final win over Preston. Just give us a bit of overview of your thinking in terms of, obviously you had the free weekend. How did you and your team spend that and getting set for what is a big game to come this weekend?
Yeah, we give the team it off. We spotted the date in the diary around about 3 or 4 weeks ago now. And we decided it was the best thing to let the team go away and have a bit of time to themselves. I think I've said before, it's always important to find those gaps when you can find them and utilise them in the right way. And sometimes you get players in and you do a little bit of work with them, and sometimes it's right just to step away and step away from the training ground for the weekend and go spend time with family and friends and loved ones. So that's what we did. That's what we decided to do. The players that weren't involved in the reserve team game, they had the weekend off, completely off. And then we had a group that were taking part in the reserve team game who did really well in some tough conditions in their game on the Sunday. So, people have come back in and feeling refreshed and ready to go again, which is what we wanted out of the break. And
with the free weekend, mindset-wise for players, is it easy for you to motivate them in terms of blocks of fixtures and look, get to this break, you've got a weekend to yourselves and make sure we get everything right and then come back refreshed, ready to go again?
I think at places I've been before, yes, but it's slightly different here in the sense of the league can put in fixtures up until 5 days before the actual game. So you actually never can confirm if it is a weekend off or not up until closer to the time. So we try and, keep players not on their toes as such because we don't know ourselves, but we try and keep players in a position where, we could have a game, we have to be prepared for that. But this is an area that we could pencil in for some time off. But if you look at coming back from Christmas, we're now at the end of February, early March. It's that's a long spell after that Christmas break that they've been in, and they've been grafting and working hard. And we, as I said, we found a gap in the fixture schedule in this period, and we decided to take it.
And just from a player's perspective, how have they come back in this week? Obviously, you've had a training session on Tuesday. You've got one on Thursday as well. How has that been?
Yeah. Great, to be honest. I think this is the third or maybe fourth time that we've given the players a bit of time away this season, and I've said every time they've come back, they've been superb. And that was no different when they was back in. They came back in on Monday. They did a bit of an introduction session on Monday just to blow the cobwebs out, get them moving again. And that was a great session. And then they came in on the training pitch and actually was on the grass on Tuesday. And the session was superb from everybody that trained that day. The intensity was good. When I was sort of observing from afar, they looked like a team that was glad for the break and ready to go again. And that was the aim that we was trying to get out of the break that we had. So, as you said, we have a couple more days in to prepare for the weekend, and hopefully we're good to go.
And it's been 11, 12 days we're talking now since the semi-final win. Your reflections on that, because it was a big game. It meant a lot for the football club and for this team, and the way they approached that game and stuck to the process and stuck to probably what you were telling them as a coaching staff must have really pleased you.
Massively, yeah, it was really pleasing. I think anybody that saw the game, it was a dominant performance. We dominated the football, which is what we like to do in most games we play. And not every game allows you to do that, but the way that Preston set up, they were probably looking to get to full time from minute one and try and take it to penalties, which is absolutely, a fine and a way of playing. And they got to 70 minutes, so they nearly did that. But it caused us a different challenge. It caused us a different problem and a different problem to solve, and that was whereby we had to break down this brick wall, this block. And oftentimes when teams set up like that and they have 10, 11 players behind the ball in their own half, it can be difficult. It can be difficult for any team to break down 11 players, 10 players, and get the ball through the lines and ultimately end up getting it a shot at goal or a shot on target or a goal for that matter. But the team stuck to what we was asking them to do. Most importantly, it can be easy for players to start to get a little bit nervous as time ticks on, especially knowing there's no extra time, especially knowing there was penalties straight away. And we asked them at half time to trust what we was asking them to do and trust the process and keep grinding them down, and eventually you'll get your moment, and we have to take that moment when it comes, and we did that. It was a great bit of play from Emmy, who found Faye out wide, and Faye's ball was world-class standard. Ebony's run was world-class standard, and Ebony's finish was world-class standard. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need those moments in games, that individual brilliance, and that allowed us the first goal, and then we could kick on from there and finish the game.
And mindset-wise, obviously, given how that game went and you had to be patient to get your goals, and on the back of the defeat the week before, questions might have been asked about where this team was at, and I think they passed that with flying colours, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. They was eager to get out against Preston and play the game and put things right. And you know, occasion of a semi-final, it's almost like a final in itself. You either get to the one you want to get to, or you don't, and it's 90 minutes of football and penalties to decide that. So, again, with that comes pressure, and we told the team that. I think I said it in an interview before. You can't hide away from that pressure. The pressure is there. You have to confront it, and you have to accept it and manage it. And all season, the team have done that. You know, this is the first group that's been representing Bolton Women's as a club that's been brought into the main club, and with that comes pressure. With that, they've been put onto the platform, and there's so many eyes on them. There's so many eyes on them from across the UK, across the world, to be honest with you, and they're dealing with that superbly. And the semi-final was another example of that.
So, cup proceedings aside, obviously you're back in the league action this weekend, back at home at Everton Calls against Penrith. You've not played them yet this season, which is strange, obviously, with 7 games to go. So what are you kind of expecting from them this weekend? Yeah,
they're a very good team. They have to be well respected. They're a team that are title contenders still at the moment. They had a big game played last weekend, and the result didn't go their way. But they're still with a chance with the final. With the league. I think this game they probably have to win in order to keep those title chances alive. So they will come with absolutely everything. They will come with everything. This game for them is almost a little bit like a final, because, as I said, they have to win to try and keep in with a chance of winning the title and getting promoted. So we expect them to come with absolutely everything. We expect them to come with lots of energy, lots of aggression, play for the full 95 minutes, regardless of what the scoreline is in the moments. And they're going to cause us a challenge. But you want that. You know, you don't win titles by playing easy matches, and teams don't just let you win games. Penrith are going to cause us some issues, and we've highlighted what they may be. We've worked in training on them. We've showed the team them in the meeting rooms, and hopefully we can combat that, and hopefully we can get a result.
And back at home at Everton Calls, I know we've been wanting to get back there. Obviously, with weather and everything that's gone on in the last couple of months, you must be delighted that we're back at home and we're back playing at our home ground. Yeah,
100%. It's been a while, and look, a massive thank you has to go to Collieries for working with us all season, and being patient over these last couple of weeks where we've had to move around a little bit. It's not something that we've wanted to do or they've wanted us to do, I'm sure, but look, as I said before, we wanted to give the pitch a bit of breathing space to allow it to come back to life, and you know, they've been great. I've just come from over there now, and we have our groundsman on there at the moment doing some work on it. And look, the pitch is in a much better condition, and that's what the aim was. You know, whilst we played a few games away from Everton Collieries, but look, they've been superb to us all season. They really have, and we've got a really good working relationship. And I know that myself and the rest of the team are delighted to be back there and delighted to be where our home is this season.